one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They were playing. She just realized it's time. Oh, you didn't get food? I thought I gave you food. You pushed me out of the way and didn't feed you? What a meanie. What a meanie.
We have Bob here today.
Oh, how lovely.
He's just right over here.
Kitty. It's Bob. You have a bug?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. As you can see, the motivation has continued and I have put together yet another video. Our last video got such a wonderful response and it really motivated me to continue sharing, and I thought now would be a great time to update you guys on what's going on with the goats, because it has been 2 years since we chatted goats. Actually, the last video we made 2 years ago was an introduction to 4 or 5 kids that we had brought home from a friend's farm right around the corner. And so, yeah, a lot has happened between then and now. We've actually had 2 birthings on the farm, which has been so amazing. So I asked Cesar to come and sit down with me to chat with you guys and update you on what's going on here with the goats. Hi, honey. Welcome to the show.
Hey. Let's get goaty with it.
I don't know if you could hear Jack, the turkey, laughing in the background. He loves to mimic my laugh. Yeah, babe, let's get goaty with it. So, what should we share? What's happened with the goats in the last 2 years?
Oof, a lot. Well, like you said, you know, we got, was it 4 goats last time in the last video? And since then,
We've had how many born?
we've had 2 rounds of kiddings. We had 5. The first round, the first year we only bred 2 of our does.
Our first 2 goats. So if you have checked out our channel ever in the past or followed along on Instagram, we first got Ethel and Mama.
Yes.
And so we bred them.
Yes, and Mama had triplets and Ethel had twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Real smooth.
so smooth.
So smooth, no problems. We actually missed both of the birthings.
Yes.
We just came out and there was just kids there.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this is pretty easy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. Mama had all 3 of her kids for a while. We recently sold one. Ethel, unfortunately, has neither of her kids anymore. Her doeling passed away in October. I think it was
It's either
October.
September or October, yeah.
It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
I just came out one morning and she was horribly sick. It was very obvious right away that she was very, very sick. I called the vet. She was here within a couple hours. We did everything we could, but unfortunately she ended up passing away. We really don't know exactly what happened. However, our gut instinct is that someone that we had on the farm the day before, we had some workers here, and we believe someone fed her something toxic. The goats have certain things that they're toxic to. The unfortunate thing is we do keep an elderberry tree on the property because we are herbalists and we love elderberries. But the whole plant is toxic to all people, not just goats. The only usable part are the berries after they've been cooked. So I think someone broke off a piece of the elderberry tree and fed it to her. It's the only thing we can come up with. Or a poisonous mushroom grew and she happened to eat it. I don't know, but something like that, right? Do you have?
Yeah, because even the vet, she walked the whole paddock and she checked the area, and there's no toxic plants in the area. And you know, we keep an eye out for them because you know they pop up, you know, with the wind and everything, seeds and birds, they fly around. So it we definitely try to keep a check.
Yeah.
On the toxic plants for sure.
Yeah, and it's frustrating to not really know the exact cause, because how do you prevent it from happening to your other goats? But luckily we have not had a situation like that again. So that was very slightly traumatizing. It was a very hard day.
It was very quick too.
It was very quick.
She was fine when we put her up at night. The next morning she was sick, and within 4 or 5 hours she passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sucked. And then we raise our male goats for meat. And so Ethel had a doeling and a buckling. So her male did grow up to become meat for us. We do process our goats here on the farm ourselves. We do it in a very ceremonial way. We try to utilize all parts of the goat. I'm actually learning how to tan the hide, so that's a project I have coming up, because I just want to make sure that we are utilizing every inch of their precious little resource that they are. We're so grateful for these goats. So what else do we raise goats for, honey?
Milk.
Yes.
Yeah, milk. That's the main thing, really. Well, the meat's good.
The meat, yeah, the meat's
good.
really
It
good.
tastes real good.
Um,
But milk, yep.
yeah, we weren't in milk last time we did a video, so
No, definitely not.
we've been milking now for how long?
It's about almost a year and a half.
Yeah,
We've been milking, and
it's a chore.
It's definitely a chore. Every
worth
single
it,
day.
Twice a day, every day.
Twice a day, every day, yeah. And but it's awesome. We always have milk. It's one of our ongoing, inside jokes when we go to the grocery store. It's like, I think we need some milk.
Yeah. Every time we're at the grocery
Or
store,
some
we're like,
eggs.
you need some yogurt? Do we need some eggs? No, that's silly. We have plenty of that at home.
For sure. But
So-
the cheese and the yogurt we make is very good.
Yeah.
Very happy with it.
And we do share. We sell our dairy at a local farmer's market here in Central Florida. If you're local, it's in Maitland on Sundays. So we do sell the milk and the cheese, yogurt. We are working on a feta. We typically make chev.
Yeah.
We're working on a feta. I want to get into cream cheese and cottage cheese. And we sell our eggs too. We've recently been selling turkey eggs, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
people love them.
Yeah, that was pretty random. I was like, we have all these turkey eggs, and take it to the market with you and see. And the first week, people were real skeptical, but the following week, we were getting text message pre-orders for turkey eggs.
Turkey eggs. Everyone
People
wanted the
they
turkey.
are really good.
They are.
They are
They
really
really
good.
are.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger. So really, you can just scramble up one, and that's plenty. So yeah, right now we're actually sitting in our milking area of the goat house. So this is our newest addition. Cesar built this the beginning of the year during kidding season, while I also decided to have an emergency appendectomy. So that was a little hectic of
Good
a time. But it is beautiful and wonderful, and I'm so grateful for this space. Before, we were just milking with one stanchion in a birthing stall, and it was very crowded. If you go back to the beginning of our channel, just the 18, 19 videos that there are, you'll see when we first got the property, and I kind of took everyone around showing what we were going to do with the space. And it's crazy to see how far we've come since then and what we've built. So we do have our goat house over here that houses the goats in the evening, and also has 3 birthing stalls in it. And then we have this little front porch area with our 2 milking stanchions, and just this little hangout area that we eventually want to enclose as to like a food storage / brooder room for growing out chicks. Anything else we should share about our goats?
That was year 1, right?
Oh yeah, we didn't even get into year 2.
We're jumping all around here. So this is
That's why he said he wanted to be on the video, so he could keep me in check and make sure I'm telling everything right.
so. The first round went real smooth, everything. Then the second round, which
That was the beginning of this year.
yeah, which was like the first week of January. We had 3 does we bred 3 of our does, and the first 2, pretty smooth sailing. We were there for those births. Well, we were there for the first one, and then we're in the hospital for the second one. But then the third one she was about 4 or 5 days behind.
She was 7 to the first. She was 7 days behind.
7 days
Khaleesi.
behind the first birthing, and she was kind of a smaller framed goat, and she's kind of a weird goat anyway. She had a really weird personality.
She did.
She did, because they all have their own little personality.
Yeah.
She was pretty weird, but so she she had a buckling and a doeling. and the buckling came out first, but he came out. Whenever they come out, they're supposed to come out with their feet and their head first. He just came out with his head. So at one point, she's standing up and he's got his head out, and the sack's open, like his little tongue's flapping. He's shaking his ears around. He's completely awake, just hanging out her backside. And after about 15 minutes, after about 10 minutes, she stopped having contractions.
Yeah, he was stuck.
Yeah, he was stuck. He was stuck. So that was like, we had to get in there, and we both tried, and eventually,
we ended up calling the vet, because after 15 minutes, nothing had happened. Yeah. So we put a call into the vet, like, we might need help with this.
And it was kind of late.
It was late.
It was like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And finally, she started having another contraction while she was laying down, and I just got in there, and I grabbed his shoulder blades and kind of wiggled him out. And he was big. He was a big boy. And then her little doeling was tiny. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of fell out. After the boy, she's like, boop.
Yep.
But then, so this recent round, we had Khaleesi. She had two little doelings, yes. Adeline had a boy and a girl, and then Arya, she had a boy and a girl. But Arya, we kind of called her our problem mother, because after that, imagine she was in a lot of pain. And we gave her some Banamine and stuff to try to mitigate that, but she started to reject the kids. Wasn't letting them nurse. So we had to, for the first 2 days, we had to put her up on the stanchion and hobble her, and then put her kids on her so that they could eat. And eventually, she accepted it, but she was always kind of weird about it. And she was very low production.
Yeah, she didn't have much milk.
Yeah,
her udders were really small.
Really small, yeah. So.
And at this point, we were sitting with like 18 goats. We processed 2 males, and then we were at 16. And so we're like, we're a small dairy farm. We don't need, we're very small dairy farm.
Yeah,
we don't need that many goats. And they very quickly, we started with 2 just 2.5 years ago, and then we had 18. So we decided to sell 4. So we sold off her and her doeling when it was, of course, time for her buckling to be weaned. It was past time.
Yeah, it was past time.
And so they went to a wonderful home, and then we sold one of Big Mama's doelings from last year. So she was like 1.5 years. And we sold one of this year's kids, one of Khaleesi's twin girls. So, so we went down to 10, and now we're sitting at 10. You guys, selling the goats was harder for me than processing them. That's really weird, I know, but I think it was a control thing. It was really hard for me to give them to someone else that now is in charge of taking care of them. I'm in charge of taking care of them. But it went really smooth. The buckling that was left behind without a mom and a sister was what I was concerned about the most. But he transitioned really smooth. He cried for half a day, and that was really it.
It was 30 minutes, and then he was at the hay block eating. Yeah.
And Khaleesi, whose daughter we sold, I feel kind of took him under her wing, and they've really bonded and spend a lot of time together. So that's been really sweet. It's really cool with goats to see the family structure and units and how they just know each other, and it's really cool. Goats are really cool animals.
And I'll tell you another interesting thing that was really heartwarming. When processing day, we processed two of the male goats, and we kept our male goats separate before this. And one of the wethers was Mama's little boy from the first year, and we were kind of worried about bringing him back to the herd, how they were going to act, if they were going to reject him, or if they're going to be they're going to be mean or nice or whatever. But as soon as after the day of processing, which was very emotional, it's very, to bring him over, and then instantly he's jumping around and playing with his sister and his mom.
They literally hugged, you guys. Like, him and his sister walked up to each other and was like one
Yeah,
head
they're, like,
over the other, like like if a goat could hug, that's what was happening.
Like they were wrapping their necks around each other, and
Sweetest.
it was a really nice moment.
It was wonderful. So we absolutely love keeping goats. I highly recommend it. If you've been on the fence, just do it. And hit me up. I'd be happy to walk you through it or share some info with you. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. Every morning having to milk, every night having to milk, it's so worth it. It's not just for the food, but for the experience, for the time with the animals. It's so worth it.
Yeah. It's also a good excuse to not go places when you don't want to go anywhere.
Because you have to milk.
Because you gotta milk.
Don't tell
sorry.
our secret. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see what happens if another video appears after this one or not.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Bye.